I thank organizers for giving me this opportunity. Today I'm going to discuss regarding RAD51 and breast cancer. The first abstract by Sarah et al. Is detection of homologous recombination repair deficiency in treatment-naive early triple-negative breast cancer by RAD51 foci and comparison with the DNA-based test. We all know PARP inhibitors are approved by FDA and EMA for treatment of metastatic breast cancer patients with germline BRCA1 BRCA2 mutations. And PARP inhibitor also demonstrated clinical activity in tumors with germline mutations in PALB2. Apart from these two, HRR exists beyond these two, totaling 60% of TNBCs. Tumors from these patients are homologous recombination repair deficient. And coming to the mode of action of PARP inhibitor inhibits PARP enzyme, which is key for base excision repair pathway. And inhibition of PARP leads to stallation of fork of replication, leading to double stranded breaks. In cells which are HR proficient, the DNA repair will occur and further survival will happen. The cells which are HR deficient, there will not be any DNA repair and leads to cell death. Coming to homologous recombination deficiency biomarker evaluation, it includes HRR gene alteration, genomic scores as well as functional tests. Functional tests are dynamic. Down the lane of HRR pathway, RAD51 is the key enzyme for repair. If the cell is deficient in RAD51, then it is HR deficient. If cell is having RAD51 in excess, it is HR proficient. So RAD51, low RAD51 levels leads to HR deficiency, whereas high RAD51 leads to HR proficiency. Coming to the study, Rio trial is a phase 2 trial, demonstrated clinical activity of PARP inhibitor, that's rucaparib, in primary TNBC. The study included 43 sporadic TNBC and 8 patients with germline BRCA1 BRCA2 mutation. In this one, the baseline biopsy was done for evaluation, and later rucaparib was given for 12 days to 14 days, and later again, at end of 14 days, on 15th day, again biopsy was repeated. The aim of this study is to detect the Ki67 fall post-treatment with rucaparib. The results were the delta in Ki67 is 12%, genomic HRD by HR detection is 69%, by RAD51 at the end of treatment by IHC, it is 77%. Concordance between HR detect versus RAD51 is 77%. Coming to the circulating tumor DNA ratio on day 15, it was lower in patients with BRCA mutated positive as well as HR detect positive or RAD51 deficient by IHC TNBC tumors. Coming to the post-hoc biomarker analysis of this study, in this one, the score HRD in untreated TNBC samples using RAD51 immunofluorescent testing was done to correlate with the further clinical outcome. In this one, the cells which are positive for germline positivity suggestive of G2S phase cell cycle, whereas H2AX positivity suggestive of a double-stranded breaks, whereas RAD51 positivity suggestive of HRR proficiency. When cells are HR deficient, the RAD51 will be low. The cutoff for RAD51 is 10%, whereas gamma H2 it is more than 25%. Coming to the feasibility of RAD51 immunofluorescence, at the baseline, total 17 baseline samples were tested and 27 samples at end of treatment were tested. In the baseline samples out of 17, the samples available for genomic HRD is only 15 and samples available for clinical outcome is 12. Coming to the prevalence comparison of HRD, by RAD51 immunofluorescence baseline assay, it is 47% prevalence is noted. By HR detect, it is 16% prevalence is noted. By RAD51 IHC at the end of treatment, 78% prevalence was noted. Coming to the comparison of RAD51 immunofluorescence as well as IHC, the sensitivity is less in IHC setting compared to the immunofluorescence evaluation. Coming to the comparison of RAD51 immunofluorescence with HR deficiency alteration genomic HRD, out of 8 patients of HR deficient detected by Meridian MyChoice, 6 patients are having a RAD51 low score by immunofluorescence, suggesting 75% concordance is there. Out of the HR detect positive patients, 3 patients still are having the high RAD51 score, suggesting functional HR proficiency. And so this is the V diagram of this important correlates. Coming to the rucaparib induced DNA repair by HRR, PARP inhibitor usage results in induction of gamma H2X as well as RAD51 nuclear foci. If you see the paid sample analysis for both gamma H2X by immunofluorescence score as well as RAD51 immunofluorescence score, there is an increase in the end of treatment samples for both scores. Coming to the RAD51 immunofluorescence and PARP inhibitor response, both Rio trial and Petrimac trial. Rio trial 2 weeks of rucaparib was used, whereas Petrimac trial 10 weeks of olaparib was used. The patient who are having a low RAD51 score suggests on HR deficiency, they had a good decrease in ctDNA levels on day 15. Whereas patients who are having a high RAD51 score suggest of HR proficiency, they have still have a high levels of ctDNA compared to the low RAD51 population. Coming to the Petrimax trial, which evaluated the clinical response by MRI, the patients who are having a low RAD51, that's HR deficient people, they're having a good clinical response compared to patients who are HR proficient with high RAD51 score. We see the patients who are having a low RAD51 score, they're having a good decrement in ctDNA as well as good clinical response by usage of PARP inhibitors. The conclusions are scoring functional HRD by RAD51 immunofluorescence is feasible in untreated TNBCs. Alike HR detect, RAD51 immunofluorescence identifies tumors with HRR gene alterations but harboring HR deficiency. 30% of HR detect positive patients, they show functional HRR by RAD51 immunofluorescence. RAD51 immunofluorescence identifies PARP inhibitor sensitive tumors. It's a promising biomarker to explore in additional cohorts. The next one I am going to discuss is from the same group. It is association of RAD51 with homologous recombination deficiency and clinical outcome in untreated triple negative breast cancer patients. The analysis of GEPAR62 randomized clinical trial. So HR recombination repair is useful to repair double stranded breaks as well as interstrand crosslinks. So up to 50% of high-grade serous ovarian cancers are positive for HR deficient. They're positive for HR deficiency, and up to 70% of TNBCs are HR deficient. Out of all tumors, 17.4% of tumors are HR deficient. So the DNA damaging agents like platinum analogs as well as PARP inhibitors are effective against such tumors. Coming to the biomarker of HRD discussion, again, HRR gene alteration by mutation hypermethylation, genomic scar suggesting a static HRD, whereas functional tests like RAD51 suggest a dynamic HRP or HRD. RAD51 foci as a biomarker of response. We already discussed when the post-treatment samples that the response to chemotherapy as well as PARP inhibitor in both Rio trial and Petrimac trial. Current discussion is regarding GEPAR62 trial, which evaluated pre-treatment samples, that the baseline samples. So GEPAR62 trial is a randomized phase 2 trial. It included both the TNBC as well as HER2 positive cancers. Out of these, 350 patients are early TNBCs. The primary endpoint is pathological complete response. Secondary endpoint is DFS and OS. And the exploratory aim is evaluation of HRD biomarkers by tumor BRCA evaluation or HRD score by mirrored my choice. Out of 315 patients, totally 71% of patients lodge HR deficiency. And coming to the HR deficient as well as HR non-deficient population, the carboplatin efficacy is seen more in HR deficient population. There is an increase in pathological complete response compared to the non-deficient population. But the survival outcome is there in survival benefit is there in both the deficient population and proficient population by adding carboplatin. The aim of this study is post-hoc biomarker analysis of RAD51 by nuclear foci by immunofluorescence. The determine if RAD51 score before therapy initiation correlates to the tumor BRCA status, genomic HRD score, pathological CR, and survival outcomes. The method done was manual immunofluorescence stain by samples on tumor microarray, evaluated RAD51, BRCA1, and gamma H2AX. Again, the gemin positive cells were analyzed because gemin positive cells are in G2S phase. The feasibility of RAD51 in tumor microarray. So the successful scoring was done for 67% of the patient. Out of the out of the 67% of the patients, again, the functional HRD was detected in 61% of the patients. There is a good correlation between BRCA1 as well as RAD51. And if you see, all cells are having a high levels of H2AX, suggesting the untreated TNBC lodge lot of double-strand DNA repair. There is a good concordance of RAD51 and tumor BRCA status and genomic HRD. If you see the mutated population which are positive for BRCA, 93% of patients are having a low RAD51 score, that is HR deficient again. And again, non-mutated patients also having a 45% of patients are having a low score. Maybe these patients other than BRCA, they're having other genes which got affected, leading to the detriment of HRR pathway. Coming to the genomic HRD score, there is 86% concordance between the HRD score as well as RAD51 IF score. And again, in negative population, again 10% of patients still having a low score of RAD51. Maybe this is because of tumor heterogeneity. RAD51 as a predictive biomarker, the association of RAD51 with pathological response. If you see the patients who are having a low score, that's a HR deficient people, low RAD51 score is HR deficiency. So these people are having a good benefit by adding carboplatin. They're having a good pathological complete response. If you see, there is a 33% versus 66% in this group, whereas high RAD51 score patient, not much difference is there. It is 39% versus 31%. Again, if you see the multivariate analysis, again, patients who are having a low RAD51 score, they got a good benefit by addition of carboplatin with good pathological CR rates. So it's a very good predictive marker for the addition of carboplatin for pathological complete response. Though GEPAR-6 trial is not powered to see the survival benefits or survival endpoint, there is a marginal long-term carboplatin benefit in both high group as well as low group. My conclusions of this study are scoring RAD51 foci by IF is feasible in untreated TNBC. In primary TNBC, the RAD51 test is highly concordant with tumor BRCA mutation and genomic HRD score. RAD51 independently predicts clinical benefit, that's pathological complete response, from adding carboplatin to NACT in TNBC. This results support for further development to incorporate RAD51 testing in clinical decision making. Thank you.